every year there's a lot of hype, a lot of talk about this game, and I think it's so good for our entire state. There's no doubt about that. And today, certainly, this game lived up to all that. It was a heck of a football game. Both teams, competed extremely hard. It was hard fought, back and forth, obviously, and both teams really left everything they had out there. So, we're just really pleased to come out with a win. We told our guys start of the week that whether it's a trophy game, any win, you earn it. That's the only way you do it. You got to go out and you got to fight, and you got to fight hard. It took everything we had today, certainly. So, while there's a lot of things that we need to improve on, I think it was pretty evident. And just like last week, the thing our guys are doing is they're playing hard, they're playing together, and they fight to the end. So, if we can continue to do that, we got a chance to shape into a pretty good football team. But again, both teams competed extremely hard. I'm extremely proud of our team. I thought they and coaches, they just stayed the course, and fought right to the end. That's what it took to win today.
How about the composure Nate showed in this game?
Yeah, last week you probably noticed he looked a little tight at times, and for him to do this on the road, the first time we've been on the road, first time a lot of our guys have been on the road. This is such a tough environment for us to come into. So for him to play the way he played in this environment, I think that just says a lot. And I just saw a flashback to C.J. Beathard 2 years ago, making some really big plays for us here. And you come out of that game feeling like, hey, this guy's got something to him.
In the regulation, down by 7, do you have a message for your team before they went out there for that final drive?
Not really. I mean, it was do or die. So that's kind of what it got down to. And the guys execute. The players win the games. They win them, they lose them, and the guys executed under pretty tough circumstances. They'd been doing it all game long in those long drives. Really pleasing to see us put some of those together too. We had one last week, so it was really good to sustain something out there today.
Kirk, along those lines, Nate had 3 drives of 90+ yards, another one of 89 yards. I mean, how do you think he held his composure? When, as you mentioned earlier, that last week just didn't seem to be there.
Yeah, I think anybody's tough. First game's usually tough. Again, Gallery went in the Hall of Fame last week, and I always go back to his first spring game in front of 18, 20,000 or 25, whatever it was. He went right, or else went left. So your first time out there, it's different. There's no way, you prepare, you work hard and all that, but it's just different. And those are a lot of bodies coming at you too. So that's a big difference as well. But his growth from last week to this week, not that we're done yet, obviously, but he did a lot of good things. And the biggest thing, he looked steady out there. I mean, just on the bench, he looked steady. Looked like he was right there with the game. That's really good to see.
He had some big misses in the game. How does that get processed on the sideline, and how does he just flush that?
Well, I didn't say anything. I didn't guarantee it, but I was just hoping quietly and silently that was going to come back and haunt us, because we had a couple opportunities we couldn't have. But that's practice. You got to get that stuff done in practice, and we're not quite there yet. It's kind of representing our whole football team. It's emblematic. We're doing some good things, but we're hardly there. That's kind of the way it usually is with us. And September's such a big month for us. So. We've had some ups the last 2 weeks. We've also had some lows, 4 turnovers last week. We had the penalty part figured out, not today. So those are the things we're going to work through, and hopefully with each week we can gain more ground.
Some of the superlatives for Akram Wadley. I mean, that touchdown was incredible.
Yeah, we talked about Nate Stanley, a young guy, and then flipping it around. The other thing we're going to have to do if we're going to win games, our veterans have to lead us, our veteran guys, our experienced guys. And certainly Akram's one of those guys. I mean, he's one of our top players, and we're counting on him to play well, and I know he's eager to accept that challenge. He certainly did a great job today.
So Matt Cameron calls timeout and overtime. You had time to think about that second down play call. Maybe what was the conversations there? The gutsy call for a true freshman here.
It's a play we put in during the week that we felt pretty good about. So, it's like anything else. You hope you get the look that you want. You don't always get it. Sometimes you do. So we got the look, and we just. We out-executed them on that. They out-executed us on a few there too.
Those are young players who've had fumbles over the years, and we don't see so much from them for a while. Why did you come right back to your receiver today?
I think I mentioned Tuesday. I think I did it. During the game last week, we were gonna get him back. I mean, we're keeping him out. He was back in there. I think really probably goes back to the first time we met him. There's something about him here. He's got a little spirit to him that we really like. Intuitions aren't always right, but sometimes you just feel like a guy's got a football mentality. And he certainly has that. He's not the biggest guy in the world right now, but that's what we got a strength program for. But he's got a little, spunk to him, whatever you want to call it, a little personality. But he seemed like the kind of guy who could shake that off, and it was just one of those things. So, he's hardly out of the woods yet either. It was a big day for him. Great to see him get involved.
After your defense struggled a little bit during the second half, late in the fourth and in overtime, they came up with a good stop.
They did, and that's, again, a game of peaks and valleys, both sides. I'm sure they're experiencing some of the highs and lows on their side as well. But, we got faith in our guys, and they went out there and dug in there and held them to a field goal, and that gave us a chance, and they got the ball back on the possession to field too. So, the things that we had to do to be successful today, we were able to execute them. But boy, nothing was uncontested. It was a really tough game.
What did you like from your offensive coordinator today? What did you get to watch the game?
He called it heck of a game. So that was good. But the thing I really like about things, I like what I'm seeing during the week. That's the room I spend more time in. I like the way the plan's going in, and then during the game, there's a lot of great conversation. Everybody's involved in that. All the offensive guys are involved in that, and I just kind of listen. But they're always thinking good thoughts going. They're processing what just happened, moving on to the next thing. And so that's really a positive too. A lot of good communication. But he called a really good game. And I joked with Dolphin, and there are a couple of calls he made that I would have second guessed, except they work, so I can't do that.
For all these years, these close games, to get any easier?
No, they never do. But, that's what you expect in this series. Like I told you on Tuesday, throw last year out, that was just one of those things, hot front, cold front. But this is the way this series is. And we've been on the short end of this one, too, down in that same end zone, same spot, coincidentally, not that long ago. So those are the things that, when you get a chance to enjoy it, you're going to enjoy it.
Will Mike be back this week, or
I'm sorry?
will Mike be back soon? And
Mike?
yeah.
I don't think so. I'm not optimistic.
How much did the shuffling in the offensive line affect?
It doesn't help. It doesn't help, and we're starting to do more of it than we like, certainly. So, the good news is it looked like Boone was cranking pretty good right there, and based on what I just saw in the locker room, I think he's ready to go. So I think we're gaining ground there. But yeah, you never want to lose any player, and hopefully, maybe we've got something different. But I'm not optimistic. It's just not good.
With the adversity your team faced
I'm
with the adversity your team faced throughout the course of the game into overtime, do you learn more about your team in a situation like that than you would in obviously?
Yeah, last week was a different type of adversity. 4 turnovers can be, it's hard to survive that. So, two different circumstances. The thing that was consistent is the way our teams responded, and that's one thing they've been doing pretty well for 2 weeks is responding to whatever happens. And I take that right back to January because since we got going, these guys have had a good attitude. They've been together, and they care about each other. So, when you get that stuff going, you got a chance maybe to have a decent football team. But we're happy as heck to get the win. I guarantee you. Now we got to keep improving. That's the next thing we got to do.
In generalities, what do you see from Iowa State that maybe wasn't there last year?
Well, what I said Tuesday was our game last year, and really, I think the first half of the season, give or take a game. You're looking at a team with a new staff, and everybody's just kind of trying to get their stuff together a little bit. Mid-season on, they started playing. You watch them against Kansas State, we had a good football team. You watch them, go right down the list, Oklahoma. Those guys are playing. So that's the thing we were hoping our players understood. Forget about last year. Let's look at what the guys did, and they played well last Saturday too. So, and they've got a good staff. They're together. They're playing well. We certainly had our hands more than full today.
Quick glance, what does the defense have to do to improve?
Probably do what they did last week. We played things a little bit better. But there's no magic potion. We had a couple busts today, and their guys made some great plays. We anticipated that. They get good players, and so we'll go back to the drawing board tomorrow and see what we see on the tape. See what we can learn moving forward. But it's all about consistency and everything. And that's what we've got to try to get to. Same thing about penalties. We today a lot of reach and grab and that type of stuff. And last week we played a pretty clean game. So. There's always something to work on, that's for sure.
Is ice more of an Achilles or an ankle?
I think it sounds like an Achilles. So
if that's the case, it's
not for the season. That's a kid.
One more question.
Coach, 7 of 15, I believe, on third downs today, but a couple of those were crucial in sustaining those drives that you were able to get points on.
Yeah, that's another area. I left that out because we're going to leave that out, but certainly another area we really improved on. We weren't very good last week on third down. Today, and to your point, some really big third downs, and that's, if you're going to have a good football team, you have to learn how to do that a little bit under duress, and it was good to see.
All right, thanks,